Hello again. It seems, after checking my blog, that the last time I did one of these video clips was the 14th of March, and also that underneath that, in the comments, there are a number of questions asked then that I haven't yet replied to, answered, whatever you want to call it. The first of these is from Mark. He asks, do you have any contact with your Brit sci-fi peers like Peter Hamilton or Alistair Reynolds? No, not really. I've met them both in the past, exchanged a few brief words, but that's about it. Writing is a very introvert pursuit, really. The next question is from Variant 13. He's basically asking if I would ever write a book where humans are not in the major roles, where it's all AIs. Well, I think I have actually, but you need humans in there. You need something where the reader can get a foothold, if you like. And it's not likely that I will completely exclude humans from any book. Andy asks, do you still enjoy writing as a job, or does it get boring like most normal jobs? Difficult question to answer that. There are moments of extreme boredom. I mean, prior to being published, I would write something and there would be a little bit of editing involved, and that was it. Now, being involved with a professional publisher, you find that there is massive amounts of editing to be done, and that does get very boring. I have to go through after I've written a book, I've probably gone through it about 10 times myself, but then it goes off to various editors and I have to go through it another 3 or 4 times. That's a bit tedious. The writing itself is, how can I put it? There are stretches of boredom where you're putting the nuts and bolts together, and also moments of inspiration which are very enjoyable. But I have to say it's much better than a proper job anyway. Next. Friezo. Do you have a favourite among your polity characters? Do they ever develop in unexpected directions after you start writing? Or is the story too set in your mind from the start? Well, as I've said before, I don't plan out the stories that I write. It just happens all here at the keyboard. So the characters do develop in unexpected directions because I have not planned it out. Favourite amongst my polity characters? Well, it's got to be the old captains. Somebody like Captain Ron or Captain Amble. Next one. It's from Andy again, but it's very similar to Variant 13's question. Have you ever considered writing an entirely non-human book? No. I was put off that idea a long time ago when I did read a science fiction book by somebody my mother knew, where all the characters were aliens. There were no humans involved at all. And again, it's the reader needing a foot up. You need some sort of link that connects you to what you're reading. And if it's entirely about aliens, why do you want to read it? Larry asked me, what are your favourite science fiction films? The usuals. Blade Runner, Alien, Aliens, Terminator. Very into Arnold Schwarzenegger science fiction. Things like that. Which fantasy character? This is Xanares. Which fantasy character entertained you the most? Corwin of Amber in the Roger Zelazny Princes in Amber books. Characters like John Shannow in the David Gemmell books. Other fantasy characters entertain me. Those are the first two that spring immediately to mind, so we'll stick with them. Variant 13 now asks, what would happen if Dragon landed on Spatterjay and decided to take up residence? I think what would probably happen would be another book from me. Right, those were the old questions from the last video clip. So, have we got time? Right, I'll move on to the some of the questions from this video clip. For some of the recent questions. Friezo asked me, Orbis is written in the present tense. Did you have an artistic reason for that, or was it just a one-time experiment? Yes. You'll find in a lot of the books prior to Orbis that I do slip into present tense when I'm writing action scenes, sometimes. Makes it more immediate, more in your face. So it was a bit of an artistic experiment, if you like, though I don't like that description, where I tried to make the whole book a lot more immediate. The result of that was some people thought it was really very good, and other people thought it was a pile of crap. I think it's probably a one-time experiment, but then again it might not be. Okay, Hitch. I write short stories. I have even entered some competitions for them, nearly won. However, I really want to write something bigger, 80,000 words, etc. I have the start, a middle, and often the end in my head before I start writing, but the bits in between those often fail to appear. Hitch, it's like becoming a marathon runner. You start off running a little way, then you run a bit further, then a bit further, and you keep on doing it until you can run 20 miles. It's the only way. There is no easy trick to it. You just have to keep on practicing. Phil M. Here's something I've been wondering about. How many copies of a book do you have to sell before the publisher classes it as a success and signs you to another deal? And what is your highest seller so far? I don't know. It's a simple answer to that. No idea. What is my highest seller so far? Oh, I think that's got to be Gridlink. Alright, Bill D. I'm curious, did you grow up in Essex as a kid, and do any childhood antics reflect what comes in the books? He only asks because he grew up in Chelmsford, but he moved when he was still 9. Still has memories of Southend Pier, Burnham on Crouch, and some weird mansion house at a place called Highlands that used to give him the creeps. Yes, I did grow up in Essex. But stuff that's reflected in my books of this... oh, there's all sorts. A lot of it's from holidays, seaside holidays. I mean, you'll... the interest in sea life and so on, you can see that coming out in the Skinner. But what's reflected in the books is more about my interests, not about where I grew up. Now Athena asks, Cormac is my favourite character, and I was wondering if you have any plans to continue his story. And Hitch asks essentially the same. Was it the James Bond guy said? Sean Connery? Never say never. Maybe I'll do another Cormac book. I don't know. There's not going to be another one for the next 3 books. I do know that. Possibly the next 5. That's all for now. Bye.